Hello everyone, my name is Hubert and welcome to Teach Me channel. Today we'll be talking about GCSE results, what to do guide. Now, we have a big day coming up, the GCSE results are coming up, and I'm sure some of you may be worried, some of you may not know what to do during the results day. So I'm here to walk you through all of it, and before I go any further, I just want to say, guys, you have so many options out there. There are so many options for you out there. So if you're super worried about it, don't worry too much about it. There is a lot of things you can do that you have option. There are so many things you can do. Even if your worst nightmares come true, you can fix it. So that's what I want to underline first of all, that you should not worry too much. Yes, it's a stressful day, but there's so many things you can do, and I will go through them all. And so by the end of this video, hopefully you will know what to do. No matter what happens on results day, you will have a plan that you can just execute and sort it all out. Now, I will cover the options you have if your results day went better than expected, if you got higher than expected grades, than the grades you expected. And also, I will revise the scenario you don't want happening, what to do when it went worse than expected. So, without further ado, let's get started. First of all, I will cover what to do if your results day went actually better than you could possibly expect. So, first of all, the first thing you can do is you can do nothing. Because I'm assuming that you have better grades than required for the things you want to do. And if you are definitely sure, if you know exactly what you want to do, what A-levels you want to take, and what career path you want to take following from that, you can just do nothing. You can just relax. You can have a nice rest of a, holiday and enjoy it. Just enjoy your results day. Go out, celebrate it, have some fun, and do nothing. That's what you can do, and that's a very viable option if you can do exactly what you want to do with the results you have gotten. So obviously that's an option. However, there are things you can do if it went better than expected. What you can do is you can revise your goals. What I mean by that is, since it went better than expected, use that confidence, that new gained confidence, to revise your goals about your career paths you want to take, and about the action, the A-levels and the apprenticeships and whatnot, and all of these things that you want to do. And you can revise it. So, for example, maybe you weren't even considering A-levels, and now you got really good results, and now you may want to do A-levels. That could be a possibility. Or perhaps you wouldn't think you would get the grade required for the A-level you want to do. I don't know, let's say for example you wanted to do A-level physics and you did not expect to get the grade required for A-level physics, so you didn't even apply for it. But maybe now that you got your physics results back and they went better than expected, now you can do A-level physics. So there are maybe some A-levels you want to do, or some other things such as apprenticeships and things like that, and colleges that you want to get into, that you didn't expect you would ever be able to do that. But now you actually think you can. And so when you sort of set yourselves a new set of targets, new set of goals that you want to achieve thanks to your good results day, then what I would advise you to do is go out and inquire about it. Ask your teachers if you can do those A-levels still, even if the A-level application deadline has passed. Ask them if you can do it, or whether you have to wait till the next cycle and whatnot. Or ask the college's admissions team if you can still go to that college you wanted to go to that you previously thought you couldn't. So not only set yourself new targets, but actually go out there and try to achieve those things that you set out to do, thanks to your new gained confidence from your results day. And that kind of goes with, the next point kind of goes with revising your goals. You can alter your A-levels. You can either do A-levels in a different school that you prefer. That's one thing you can do. You can go to some school that you think will teach you better, that will equip you better with the knowledge required for A-levels. Because, I mean, A-levels are a whole another ball game compared to GCSE, and you may want to pick some other college or some other sixth form or some other school that you think would be better suited for you and for your needs. Or perhaps you want to stay in the same school, but maybe you want to shuffle around your A-levels. So maybe you want to switch out some A-levels because you thought you couldn't get one of the A-levels. So you're gonna switch it, so you picked some other A-level, but now you actually can do that A-level, and you can go to your school and always inquire with your school, with your teachers, how to go about this, and whether you can still do it, even though that oftentimes deadline may have already passed. And oftentimes they will have space for you. It doesn't happen all that often, and so it's likely that you would be one of the very few people at your school doing that. So the chances are that they may have a spare chair for you in these A-level classrooms that you want to go to. So always inquire about it. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? The worst that can happen is people say no. And then you can go with the plan that you originally had anyways. So always inquire about it. Always ask and try to find out how to do this. Okay, so this is what you could do if your results day went better than expected. You can do nothing, you can revise your goals, or you can alter your A-levels. So, what happens if unfortunately you open your envelope and your worst nightmares come true? What happens then? Well, don't worry about it. There are so many options for you guys, and I will briefly go through them with you. Okay, so what to do if it went worse than expected? First thing I would do, if your A-levels went worse than expected, the first thing you need to do is inquire about your choices. What do I mean by that? First of all, ask your school or college of choice, ask them whether you can do your A-levels anyways. Whether you can do whatever you originally set out to do anyways. Because oftentimes they will let you. Especially if your behavior record is good. Especially if you have a good behavior and you can show that you are genuinely interested in doing the A-level that you want to do, or apprenticeship and whatever. And if you can show that it fits with your career goals, that this is something you would need to do to get to where you want to be. Oftentimes, if you can show that to your teachers, if you can show that to your school, oftentimes they will let you do the A-level of your choice anyways. They might just let you do it, even though you didn't make the grade. So always, like I already said, always ask, and see your possibilities. Because oftentimes, even though you didn't make your grade, you can still do it. Now, don't worry about GCSEs too much as far as universities go, unless you're doing some course like medicine, where they have very specific GCSE requirements. Most courses don't tend to have those specific GCSE requirements, and they will be happy with you as long as you got A to C from 5 GCSEs, including maths, English, and sometimes science. Then most universities will be happy to take you, and A-levels will be much more important factor in getting into universities than GCSEs. So don't worry too much about trying to sort of get all clean sheet of A stars in your GCSEs. Yes, it's nice, and surely it would be helpful down the road, but GCSEs are not as important as A-levels. So if you can do the A-levels you want with the GCSE grades you have, then you don't have to do resits or anything like that. Then I would just go ahead and do your A-levels and do well in your A-levels rather than start doing GCSE resits and things as such. So, first of all, like I said, inquire about your choices, see if you can still do the A-level you want at the school you want to do. Sometimes they will let you do that. So, the next thing is to have your tests remarked. The papers you took, have them remarked. Oftentimes, they make mistakes. And I've had friends who gained 1, 2, 3s. One friend even gained 5 marks from having their test remarked. So, that is a very viable option. Now, remarks are quite expensive and you only get refunded usually you will only get refunded when the mark actually changes. So, if you want to remark your test, pick the papers where you are actually close to the higher grade. So if you gain 1 mark, or if you gain those extra 2 marks or extra 3 marks, you will have you will have a higher grade. And in that case, absolutely do your remarks. Remark your tests, and you can inquire with your schools how to do it. Usually you fill in a form at your school and you hand it in to the exams person in school, and then they sort the rest for you. So you can always inquire with your school, with your teachers, how to go about remarking your test. Now, the important thing about remarking your test is that it can go both ways. You can get a higher grade than previously, or you can get the lower grade than previously. And the most recent remark counts. So, what's very important here is to only remark the papers where you are very close to the higher grade. Because should you get a lower mark, you'll still be fine. You will still have your old grade, even though you have less marks. But should you get a higher mark, you will get a new grade. So that minimizes the risk you're taking. Definitely don't ever remark the tests where you are in danger of falling a grade, when you barely scrape the grade you have and you are in danger of falling. Definitely there is no point doing that. That's just too much of a risk for too little of a reward. But remark your test if you're close to your sort of next grade boundary. So another thing you can do is do your A-level at different school or a different sixth form. Because different schools tend to have different requirements. And again, you can inquire with your teachers and your school and ask them how to go about doing one or all, or even all of your A-levels in a different school. Because sometimes different school may have lower requirements. And even if that school maybe doesn't have as good of a reputation or whatever, you still, at the end of the day, you still walk out with the same A-level from any school. If you do A-level in a school, if you get a good grade in A-level in any school, it doesn't matter what school you went to. So it may be worth doing that, absolutely. And again, inquire with your teachers about how to do it. That might be quite a bit of a process and quite a bit of a short deadline, but it has happened before and it definitely is a very viable possibility indeed. Definitely very good option. And the fourth option is the sort of last resort option. If none of this worked, if you cannot get anywhere near where you want to be with the grades you got, if you literally can't do anything, then resits. You can always do resits. You can do perhaps some A-levels that you can do because you got the grades, and then hold off on the other A-levels whilst you're doing resits. That's always possible. Or you can just resit everything. There is many different options, and that's definitely something to cover. If you're ever considering that, that's definitely something to cover with your teachers and with your advisors at your school. And they will be able to advise you on what you probably should resit and what you should keep. And yes, it's a possibility, but of course, I would say this is the last resort possibility compared to all of these, because resits are not guaranteed to work. You know, you're not guaranteed a better mark after resits. You probably will get better mark because you'll spend more time on your subject, you spend more time on studying, and you will get a great mark and you will be able to move on with your life. But compared to the other option, this is a higher risk option, but if nothing else works, you may simply have to do it. And there is nothing wrong with that. And it's a perfectly viable option. So this is it for today, guys. These are the things that you could be doing on your GCSE results day, depending on whether it goes well or whether it doesn't go as well as you hoped. As you can see, that's something very important. As you can see, there are so many options for you out there. There are so many things you can do. So this results day is not going to ruin your life or anything like that. Just believe me, it's going to be fine no matter what. So try not to stress too much about it. I know it's stressful, but try not to stress too much about it because, like you can see, there is so many things you can do. So I hope this video helped you immensely. If you think this video helped you, give me a big old thumbs up. If you want to stay up to date on daily maths tutorials, science tutorials, some biomedical science tutorials, and some career building videos like this, if you want to stay up to date with our channel, hit that subscribe button below. You're guaranteed regular quality content. I always try to release videos daily. And if you want to have any questions, if you have any questions, any worries, if you just even want to chat with me, hit me up on the comment section below. I will get back to you as soon as possible, and I will do my utmost best to try to help you with whatever problems you may be having, or even if you just need a chat. Thank you again for watching, and see you next time.